Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people around the community. And today we are taping the show on Thursday, August the 23rd. My guest today is the athletic administrator at Conneaut High School, Joel Taylor. Joel, how are you today?
Fine.
Good. School has started up this week. Everything going pretty good?
It's going pretty well. The normal first couple of day glitches, but we worked through them and things are going well.
Of course, when school starts, that's when all the sports seasons start. And I thought what we do today, Joe, is talk about all the sports that Conneaut High School has to offer and recognize the coaches of those sports, and we'll go from there. But before we do that, this is your second tour of duty as athletic administrator, is that correct?
Yes, the job is different than it was when I first did it, but yeah, this is my sixth year.
We just said it's different. What is different?
Well, it was classified as an assistant principal in charge of athletics and attendance before. That was 7 years ago. Now I'm athletic administrator for the district, high school and middle school. And I'm basically in charge of all things athletic. I also do work with attendance still. But, I work at the middle school. Before it was just high school.
I always thought one of the toughest things, and I still do think that, for an athletic administrator is scheduling. Being in a conference now, does that ease that up a little bit?
It does ease it up. We are given a schedule by District 10, and then we fill up our independent games around it. Whereas before, when we were an independent, we had to scramble for everything that we had. So it does make scheduling a little bit easier for us.
And then, of course, in the springtime with your baseball and softball and all the weather-related issues, and even now in the boys and girls basketball seasons, how tough and difficult is it to reschedule a game?
Well, in the spring, it becomes problematic. I was just talking with someone about this the other day. Because of the time eventually runs out, we don't always get to make up every softball game, every tennis match, every baseball game because the school year ends. And unless it involves a league title or something, the game, we just don't make it up. We try, we make every effort to find open dates, but with field availability and the weather itself, sometimes we'll get one game canceled 4 times. We just don't get it in. So that is difficult. Even in the fall, sometimes we have lightning changes. We play our sports, through the weather, but if it's lightning, we have games canceled in the fall. Winter, the last few years, has become difficult for us. But District 10 has a rule. The first rule, if your game is canceled and it is a in-region game, you make that up the next available day. So whatever game you have, it's bumped. So it goes in region, then it goes within District 10. If it's not in your region, but it's in District 10, that's the next priority. And then after that, so let's say we play a District 10 team on a Tuesday in our region, we get rained out. If we have a game that's not in District 10 on Wednesday, we have to bump it and play our District 10 game.
I see. Interesting. Do you like that?
Well, it's an easy rule to follow. It's not always fun to call another school up and tell them we have to bump them, but they understand because they're in the same boat in their respective leagues. They get the same, basically the same rules. And when we were an independent, schools called us all the time and said, hey, we have to play a league game, and we got bumped, and we ended up, just not making the games up because there was no time left or whatever. Usually that was in the springtime. But we have to abide by the rules of our league, and that's what we did.
Joel Taylor, my guest, Conneaut High School athletic administrator. And what we're going to do is talk about all the sports that Conneaut High School has to offer. If you're like me, the sports are football, basketball, baseball. But there are also so many other sports, and they don't always get recognized. So I'll try to get this in order. Let's start with the boys and girls golf team, Joe. You recognize the coaches and how those sports do at Conneaut.
Boys and girls golf. Our girls golf coach is Artemis Murmis. Our boys golf coach is Jim Campbell. And both of these teams right now they're struggling for players. Golf is something that, if you don't take it up as a youngster, it's difficult to just, to grasp it. And we have some golfers right now that are just starting out, and both the boys and the girls. We do have a couple girls that are in college right now that golf for us. They were very, again, they started at a younger age and worked their way through, but both of our golf teams right now, as far as winning and losing, we struggle. But the kids do go out, they're learning the game, and they are young, so they'll be here for a while. The Village Green Golf Course is our home course for both boys and girls, and they're very good with us in regard to the time that we get and managing our teams.
Has golf, Joe, been a sport at County High School for many years now?
Golf has been around since the 1970s, early 70s.
Also very long time.
It's been around a while.
Didn't realize that. And you mentioned Jim Campbell was one of the coaches. Of course, he had a little stint here as an athletic administrator as well.
Yes, he did about,
In between your two terms, right?
yeah, did about 3 years ago was the last year he was here.
Let's see, what else do we have in the fall? We have boys and girls soccer.
Boys and girls soccer. Boys soccer is coached by Kevin Santee. This is his second year as the boys soccer coach. And they have their opening home match tonight as they host Harvey at the Spartan Garcia soccer field. And our girls soccer team is coached by Becky Bettridge. This is her second year as the girls soccer coach. And the girls right now are, last year they were 0-17. This year they're so far they are 1-0 in the regular season. They won both of their scrimmages, so we're looking for an upswing in their season. And the boys, again, they open tonight, and they play in a very difficult league, as do our girls soccer in District 10 is very tough, and our boys hold their own.
I'm going to guess, Joe, now soccer's probably been at Conneaut since the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think 2003. We had a county league that it was independent, and I believe our first conference team from when we had the NEC was around 2003, 2004. I believe our girls actually won the conference in 2005.
How have you seen soccer grown through the years?
Soccer is immensely popular among our. Last year we had a little bit of we had some trouble. We didn't have a JV girls soccer team. This year we have a JV girls soccer team. We had some kids come out. It goes in waves, but for the most part, kids that like to play soccer, CLYO soccer has been popular around here for the last 25 years. And a lot of our kids' early experience comes from that.
Are there home matches played at Jocelyn Field, or are they still down at Township?
The home matches are now played at the Spark Complex on the track side.
Oh,
We moved them there last year. It's Garcia Soccer Field within the Spark Complex, and that's where they play their matches. We had a scoreboard donated by Greg Sweet, and it's a soccer and track scoreboard, and we didn't get it until the end of last soccer season, but now it's in full use.
Very good. I get this mixed up, but I think it's cross country in this fall, right?
Cross country, yes.
How about cross country?
Our cross country team, boys and girls, is coached by Jessica Kennedy. And last year we had our first home cross country meet in probably 15 years. And our home course is Township Park. We'll have a home match this year against General McLean. But Jessica is trying to build the program. And we went from a program where, again, we were struggling to get athletes, and now both our boys and girls high school teams are amply supplied with kids. I think there's 16 or 17 kids on both squads, and our middle school program is growing also. And that's one of the things that Jessica has put as a goal for herself, is to build this program. And she is passionate about running and teaching these kids the way to do it, and awesome coach.
Another fall sport, of course, volleyball. What's the situation there?
Volleyball is coached by Justin Sanford. I believe this is his 4th year as head coach. They had their first match Tuesday. They lost to St. John. Tonight they host Grand Valley at home. And they're looking for improvement on last year's, and that's on last year's record. We're in a different region this year. Last year's region, we played teams like McDowell and General McLean on Fort LaBeouf, and these schools were bigger than us. We realigned every 2 years. District 10 realigns, and in the realignment, now we're playing against schools that'll be more our size: Fairview, Northwestern, Girard, and also the travel is kind of eliminated a little bit with that. But we're looking forward to those contests with this realignment, and again, Justin has provided some stability in this. Again, as being coach, this is his 4th year, so again, he's always looking for improvement. He's excited.
Do most of the volleyball matches at home, Joe, start around 5?
Most of them start at 6 o'clock. The JV plays first, and they play best of 3, whoever wins 2 sets wins, and then we move to varsity, and they play a best of 5.
How does that draw?
It depends on who we play. Again, if we're playing someone from far away, most of the people there are ours, but it's and our football players, the athletes, especially after football practice, or they come in and they want to watch their classmates play. So on a weeknight, it does a nice job at bringing people in.
You mentioned conferences. Each sport plays different teams, even though they're in the same conference. Is that correct? Do I get that right?
Well, for example, we're in Region 3 for football. Now, I'll just throw these numbers out there. For volleyball, we might be in Region 5. And some of the schools will be in common and some won't. I'll go to the springtime. Baseball, we played in Region 4. And again, the numbers are just numbers, but it's called Region 4, and we played Girard, Northwestern, Northeast, Fairview, Mercyhurst Prep. That was our baseball league. Softball, we play Slippery Rock. They're in a different region. We play Slippery Rock. We play Sharpsville. We play Hickory. These schools that are down, it's about an hour away. So District 10 puts us, they try to match us up with schools that are our size, and if they can do it geographically and keep us close, they will. But at times, we fill a spot for them, and they'll put us where we're needed as a school. And they don't just do that with us; they do that with all schools. They try to place us by size and geographically when they can. That's just a time that it doesn't work out. But yeah, each of our out of the 18 sports that we have, we could have conceivably 18 different regions by number and play different schools. For the most part, we play similar schools, but there are differences.
18 sports covering from August all the way through about May, I would think, with the baseball and the softball and the
middle to the end of May, and our track season has gone into June the last couple of years with our track athletes that have advanced to the state.
18 sports to manage here.
And that's just and that's not counting middle school.
Middle school, that's right.
And our GAE teams too.
Now, does our middle school, are they in this District 10?
Middle school is actually in football, a league that had played us an independent game last year. I was at a meeting, they said, would you like to be in our football league? So we're now playing an 8-game District 10 middle school football schedule. For the most part, like for example, right now, girls volleyball, they don't play at the same time we do. They play in the wintertime, so we have to seek Ashtabula County schools or local schools to play. They play girls basketball right now. We play girls basketball in the winter. So other than football, we're not in a District 10 middle school league.
All right, let's go to football. That's been one of your successful programs here of late. 5 years under Coach Rocco Dopen of not having a losing season. This year looks promising as well. So tell us a little bit about the football team.
Well, there's 41 boys on the roster right now. Again, we're looking to improve on our 5-5 record of last year. We are in a different region. We left a region where we were playing Titusville, Fairview, Girard, Mercyhurst Prep, Corey. We're no longer in that region. Again, it was realigned based on our school population, grades 9 through 11. And we're now in, it's Region 3, and there's only 4 teams in this region. We play Iroquois, Northwestern, and Seneca, and those are the teams that are in our region. Now, we do play other teams in District 10, but they're outside of our region.
So they would be a non-conference opponent?
They're non-conference, but they are considered District 10.
So it's Seneca, Iroquois, and Northwestern, did you say?
Yes.
So those are the 3 teams that we would compete for
For a title.
For a title.
It'll be the Region 3 title.
I see, and you got the Iroquois team is at home, the other 2 are away. Okay, very good, and that's interesting to know. So the Wilmington and the Sharpsville and those games in Lakeview are all non-conference games.
They're within they're called crossovers. They're within District 10, but they're outside of our region.
And these were games for non-conference that you had to play, you couldn't substitute them with Ohio schools?
No, this was when the realignment took place, and the District 10 schedule was, we had to submit our size, the number of students we had, grades 9 through 11, boys and girls. And for football, for example, the people that did the scheduling realigned the regions to make sure that everyone was aligned by size the best that they could. And then they went through and they made a schedule, and we had a list of the different size schools that and all the schools were there. Schools that we would not want to play, we didn't put a check mark by. We were asked to put a check mark by, I think, 4 schools that we wanted to play on our schedule, and they tried to give us what we wanted based on our selection. And the schools that are there, they were apparently schools that just, the Wilmington, we don't really know them. They're about an hour away from us to the south. They were in need, so they gave it to them. And they tried to keep us local with Iroquois and Seneca.
So with the teams like Wilmington and Sharpsville, those would be 2-year deals?
This year and next year, and then after next year, the league will realign once again, but not just football, but all the sports will realign.
Okay, very good. All right, let's move on to the winter sports now. Connie, it's always had some good wrestlers. What about the wrestling team? What's that looking like?
Wrestling team again, Matt Bidwell, I'm not sure how many years he's been here, probably 8 as the wrestling coach or so. And he's in one of the leagues that, we were wrestling McDowell and Cathedral Prep. And General McLean, and those are huge, those are huge schools compared to us. And we fared as individuals. We have some individuals who can compete, but overall, when you're facing McDowell, they have 1,500 boys to choose from. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Cathedral Prep with 750 boys, that's tough. When we only have like 100 or 200 boys total in our school. But wrestling this year, from the realignment, we're not playing McDowell. It was a good Nevada, this double-edged sword. We're no longer playing McDowell and Cathedral Prep, but we are playing some other schools a distance away. They're southern Erie, they're south of Erie County, and we're going to have to do a little bit of traveling. And so that's somewhat problematic for wrestling, but we go to wrestling tournaments all the time on the weekend, so they're used to travel. It's just weeknights that makes it difficult, especially in the winter time. So there was some concern there, but Coach Bidwell, he puts a solid product out there.
He does a great job. I always wondered about wrestling, Joe. Throughout the years, it seems like there's always a lot more away matches than home matches. Is there a reason for that?
Well, when we were an independent, schools, it was tough to get a school to come here to wrestle in a dual meet. So we would only have one, sometimes none, at home. We would be basically a tournament team. We would wrestle on the weekends and travel around northeastern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania. With District 10, I believe we had 6 home meets last year.
Yeah, there's more than.
And we'll have another 6 or so this year also. So we do have the element of having a home wrestling match back.
Let's go to girls basketball. The last few years, Tony Passon has had that team improve tremendously, and it looks like another good year coming up.
Well, girls basketball, again, just a slow and steady performer. We had some good news this year with Villa Maria, who is a national caliber girls basketball program. They are no longer in our region, they're in a different region now. We're still in we still have Mercyhurst Prep to contend with, and they're also a very good girls basketball program. But you know, District 10, it's the rules that they have in Pennsylvania that we don't follow. Like, they can play as a team more often during the entire year than we can. So going into our basketball season, both boys and girls, they have a little bit of an advantage over us, and that our kids kind of, we do get to play together, but not as much as they do. So they have that advantage when it comes to team play. They're more cohesive as a team. It looks like sometimes, and the speed of their game is a little bit faster. And I've noticed this when, you know, we'll play a District 10 schedule, and then we'll come into Ashtabula County and play an Ashtabula County school, and it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit slower pace, and I think playing in District 10 enables us to better compete with the teams that we play in this area.
Last year, of course, the girls' basketball team, your daughter Tully was one of the main stars of the team. It was more of an inside type game. This year, it looks like Tony may have a great backcourt.
Yeah, he's excited every year about the teams that he has, and you know, he makes it a point of emphasis that, you know, he loves the girls that he's lost, but he's looking forward to a new beginning with this. And you know, they work all summer with this. You know, he has girls coming to camps. They go to shootouts, and they'll be starting open gyms. And Tony's coaching middle school football right now, something he hadn't planned on doing. So, but sometime early October, they'll get the girls basketball fired up.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to boys basketball.
Okay, Tim Telvaca. Again, the team showed some great improvement last year, and you were there the night they beat Mercyhurst Prep, a team
One of the most thrilling games in years.
A team that we're not supposed to beat or even be able to play with, and that's on any given night. You know, we went out and beat them and sent them home. You know, they were in contention for District 10, and that kind of put a crimp in their plans. But again, we're pretty much in the same. Although the realignment took place, we're pretty much in the same boat. We're playing the same teams, and going into the third year, you know, having that continuity and seeing who we're going to play and knowing what to expect. Hopefully that bodes well for us.
With Elijah Cooper off to Edgewood now, who fills the JV position?
At last year, Justin Sanford, who was our volleyball coach, was a volunteer, and he was there most of the time. So when Elijah left, Justin Sanford stepped in, and Tim took him as his assistant.
Good, that's very, very good. Yeah, the boys basketball team, they had the 6 wins, but they very well could have had 9 or 10. I remember losing a close game at home that we had on the broadcast with Gerard right there down at the end too. So with a little luck, maybe they could have had 2 or 3 more wins.
Oh, certainly so.
Yeah. Let's see, that takes care of winter. Now we go on to the spring. Let's start with softball.
Softball, Becky Bettridge, she does double duty. She's also the head girls softball coach. This will be her 2nd year.
And this is Glenda's daughter?
Yes, Glenda Bettridge's daughter, yes. And this is one of those, with the region realignment, you know, we were playing those teams that went down south. Now we're playing Northwestern, we're playing Gerard, we're playing Fairview, we're playing some of the same schools that our boys will be playing. So that's something for us to look forward to, as far as not having as much travel as we've had in the past. Again, sometimes our girls would play a game at Slippery Rock on a Tuesday night, and they'd get home at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and you know, that's tough when you're a high school student. But again, we'll be playing more of a local schedule this year. And when I say that, we try to, when District 10 gives us a schedule, we do everything we can to try to sprinkle the Ashtabula County flavor in there, whether it's football, basketball, whatever. We try to put Ashtabula County's teams in there so that we do have that commonality with our area schools. But softball, they won the league the first year that we were in it. Last year we struggled a little bit. Our girls were very competitive, but again, most of them are back this year. We only lost 2 seniors, so it should be an improved team this year.
Baseball?
Baseball, this is Bill Lips. He's our head coach. This is his 2nd year as our coach here. He's traveled He's been a journeyman as a baseball coach, as a football coach. He's
We've
been
had him on
around.
the show, he's been in a lot of places.
Been in a lot of places.
Couldn't believe it.
Our baseball team was in contention for the league title until the very last week of the season. And he's going to have many of his players returning this year, so that should also be a promising spring for us in regard to baseball.
Of course, Joe, you coached baseball for many years at County High School. I want to say maybe 20 or more?
20 as the varsity coach. My first year I was a JV coach, and then 1 year of girls softball.
What do you remember from coaching all those years of baseball? Is there anything that stands out to you as a good memory?
My memories stem mostly from, I remember practices. I remember going out to breakfast with the team. I remember things that we did as a team, the fun we had. When I get together, sometimes with former players, you know, we don't talk about wins and losses, and we had some successful seasons, some very successful seasons, kids that went off and played college, but when we get back, we talk about just the things that we did as a team, and that, to me, that's what coaching is, and those relationships that are built. Again, I think back to my own high school playing experience, you know, we were successful, but, you know, again, I think about the fun we had and the friends and the camaraderie and just the team aspect of things that were built, and that's what stands out in my mind. You know, wins and losses, they come and go. The friendships that you make and the memories that you get, they last forever.
What stands out for me when you coached Joe is you were kind of, you were kind of even kill. You didn't get yourself too high or you didn't get yourself too low after an outcome. Although a couple of your players tell me differently, but
well,
that's how I saw it.
How I handle myself in public at a game is different than how I went about things in practice. Now, in practice, I could lose it at practice every once in a while, you know, and sometimes it's more of just an act.
Sure.
Just to, you know.
Let them know who's boss.
Right, and you know, getting kids, you know, show up at practice on time, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, displaying it, I watch, you know, with YouTube and, you know, you're watching ESPN, and you see people behave in ways, coaches come out and throw the bases around, and, you know, we look at it and laugh at it as entertainment, but is that really the way we want people to behave? And I believe that our coaches owe it to the players to teach them the right way to play, and hopefully that's what my players will remember. But
Do you remember what your career record was as a coach?
no.
You had more wins and losses, right?
It was somewhere 260 and 180.
Oh, that's a ton of baseball games.
It was a ton of games.
Oh,
you know, over 20 years, you played 20
Wow.
games a year.
But you loved it, didn't you?
I love it, and I miss it right now. And I don't miss necessarily the games. I miss the relationships, the practice. You know, I see our coaches now, the way the kids talk to the coaches and stuff, and you know, they have a relationship. They see them every day, day in and day out. I don't have it anymore, and I kind of become envious when I hear kids talk. Hey, coach, and you miss that.
Yeah, it's in your blood. Let's see, in the spring, what else we have? We have tennis, right? Boys tennis? We
Boys
forgot
tennis.
about girls tennis in the fall, right?
Girls tennis.
Let's go to girls tennis and boys tennis.
Girls tennis, this is Doug Hedrick. I believe this is his second year as our girls tennis coach. And again, he has been struggling. He does the city rec tennis program in the summertime. He's been struggling to get girls out for tennis. We just recently got our 6th girls tennis player, and that gives us a full contingent, so we don't have to forfeit any matches.
Was that co-ed at one time? Tennis?
Tennis was co-ed at one time. You could play on the boys' team if you were a girl, because we didn't have a girls' team. We've had a girls' team now for about 15 years, I believe. But, you know, again, Doug is trying to build our program and make it so that we have a steady, continuous flow of girls that come in that are interested in tennis. And with this tennis courts being built, we're hoping that that'll spur some kids on to, you know, wanting to play tennis.
And then, of course, we have track. We had some good players in track last year. Did they go almost to state or something like that?
We had Matt McBride at the state level. We had, you've sung,
I know we got 2 or 3, pretty good.
Josh Leggett, I'm sorry.
People.
So Josh has moved on. He was a state performer. Matt, this will be, we're assuming Matt will make it back. This will be Matt's 3rd year if he should make the state once again. And, you know, track has grown. Denny Distorath was our boys coach, and Jessica Kennedy was our girls coach, and they did a great job at solidifying a program and giving the kids some goals. And you know, you have 60 kids running around the track, and organizing that and making sure that everything is running smoothly. There's only 2 of them, and they each have an assistant. But they did a great job at pulling our track team together, and you know, we're hoping Jessica won't be back again, but Denny Distorath probably will be back, and we're looking for his continuing success as a coach.
Did I get all the sports in, Joe, or did I forget something?
We have boys tennis in the spring. Now we had the player of the year in Ben Butler in Ashtabula County. He was 2nd team in District 10, and Tom Richard was the coach last year. Tom will be back. He's retired from all coaching, but he had trouble. We went from having enough kids for a tennis team, and it's just one of those years. Last year we had 3 or 4, so we had to forfeit doubles matches, and it made it tough for us to win tennis matches. We did win a couple, but and we did have some successful tennis players, and we do have one. Adam Layton will be returning, or not Adam Layton, Ryan Layton will be returning. Adam's younger brother, and Adam's currently playing tennis in
He
college.
was also MVP for Connie and tennis too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Adam?
Yes, I believe he was.
Player of the year or something?
I believe he was in Region 3 of District 10. So those are the sports that we have, and again, we have 18 varsity sports, and we did start some indoor track last year. That's not recognized by the OHSA, but we do participate in it.
What's more popular, Joe, in your eyes, from what you see, football or basketball?
Well, football, the most kids come out for football. It just depends. We have a lot of dual sport athletes that play football and basketball. It's hard. It's really hard to say. It depends on the year also. I mean, again, this is my 31st year in the district, and I remember years when I first started out coaching and being involved in the football program. We had enough kids to have a blue team and a gold team at practice. We'd have 60 kids on the football team, and in middle school we'd have 60 kids, and we'd have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team. In this day and age, we struggle to get 15 kids playing middle school football, and then now we've got to combine the teams with the 7th and 8th grade team together, so we have 7th and 8th grade playing on the same team. And you know, I don't know if that's, some of it is because there's more choices today. Kids can play soccer, kids can run cross country. There's more things for them to do, and some kids choose not to do anything. There's just other things in the community for them to do. So football's always held its popularity.
It's just a Friday night thing, I think. I think that's what has a lot to do with it.
Where else would you want to be on a Friday night?
Right, exactly. Under the lights on a Friday night. 2 more quick things for you, Joe. I understand on our opening night on the 31st, which is a week from tomorrow, that we are dedicating our press box to University Hospitals.
Yes, and I believe a pregame ceremony, and that will also be having our recognition of COYO and Conneaut Middle School football and COYO football and cheerleaders that night also.
I'm going to close with a bang. We had Steve Cray on the show at the end of the school year, and he gave me a rumor that the Edgewood Warriors will be in the Conneaut Spartans football schedule in 2019. Can you confirm that?
Well, as a matter of fact, we are going to open up with Edgewood. That'll be our opening. We play with Bray this year. We've made it known to them that we can we'd like to have some more. We're trying to get a local team, and it turns out that Edgewood was going to be that local team, and we haven't played Edgewood in a regular season football game, I think in 3 years we haven't had them on our schedule, so.
Only?
It will be, we will host next year.
That's the
So-
only thing he didn't know, whether it was gonna be home or away at that time.
Well, actually, we didn't know until about 2 weeks ago that we were going to be able to get together.
So opening night against the Edgewood Warriors, they can't get any better than that.
Yeah, if we can't end the season with them, it's nice to open with them, and
Yeah.
that should be a great draw. Hopefully we can
Oh,
play it
yeah.
up and,
Yeah. Great job, Joe. Thanks for
thank you
being my
very much.
guest.
Thanks for having me.
Joe Taylor, my guest today on Around the Town with Chuck.